Imagine this. You are 72 years old, driving the same route you have used for 20 years. Your phone is resting in your hand because the GPS just changed directions. You stop at a red light, glance down for 2 seconds, and continue toward the interstate. Nothing felt dangerous. No officer pulled you over, no siren appeared behind you. But days later, a fine arrives, and the amount is much higher than you expected. Now imagine crossing one state line and discovering that the behavior that brought only a warning yesterday can bring a real citation today. That is why drivers over 67 are suddenly hearing frightening claims about new I-95 rules, instant fines, license points, and even possible suspension. But before you panic, you need to know the most important truth. There is no single nationwide law that suddenly targets every senior over 67 simply for driving on I-95.
I-95 is a highway corridor, not one legal jurisdiction. The rules can change every time you cross into another state. And while seniors are not being fined because of their age, several states along or near the corridor have recently strengthened enforcement involving phones, speeding, traffic cameras, work zones, and license points. A driver who does not notice the change can be penalized quickly. Stay with me, because the rule many careful drivers misunderstand is the one that can catch you while your vehicle is completely stopped. Let us begin in Pennsylvania. As of June 5th, 2026, the warning period under Pennsylvania's hands-free law is over. Drivers convicted of holding or using a handheld device while driving can face a $50 fine, plus court costs and additional fees. Here is the detail that surprises people. The restriction can still apply while you are temporarily stopped in traffic or sitting at a red light.
That means a driver may think, the car is not moving, so I can pick up the phone. But under this rule, a red light is not the same as being safely parked. Holding the phone to read a message, type an address, search for music, or adjust an app can create a problem even before the vehicle moves again. Hands-free calling, voice-controlled navigation, and emergency use are allowed, but the safest habit is simple. Program the route before leaving, place the phone in a secure mount, turn on voice guidance, and do not hold the device until the car is legally parked in a safe place. This matters especially for older drivers who may use larger text settings, hearing assistance, or navigation more frequently. The law does not punish you for needing those tools. It punishes the handheld interaction. Set everything up before you merge, because on a fast interstate, one small distraction can become both a safety risk and an expensive mistake. Now travel south to South Carolina, where enforcement also became much stricter in 2026. South Carolina's hands-free law moved from warnings to citations at the end of February 2026. A first offense can bring a $100 fine plus applicable court fees. A second or later offense within 3 years can cost $200, include court fees, and add 2 points to the driver's record. The important phrase is hold or support. A phone pressed against your ear, balanced on your shoulder, resting in your hand, or supported against your body may all create trouble. You do not have to be texting. You do not have to be speeding. Simply holding the device while operating the vehicle can be enough. For seniors who travel between Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, and the Northeast, this is where confusion becomes costly. A habit that feels normal in one location may violate a stricter law after the next state line. Never assume that yesterday's rule follows you for the entire trip. But phone laws are only one part of the story. In New York, major changes to the driver point system became enforceable on February 16, 2026. Some serious violations now carry more points, and the state expanded the period used to review repeated violations from 18 months to 24 months. Passing a stopped school bus rose to 8 points. Speeding in a construction zone can carry 8 points. Leaving the scene of a personal injury crash rose to 5 points, and failure to exercise due care rose to 5 points. Existing mobile phone and portable electronic device violations remain 5-point offenses. Think about what that means. A fine is painful, but points can continue affecting a driver after the ticket is paid. They can contribute to state action against a license and may create additional financial consequences.
For a retired person living on a fixed income, the long-term cost can matter far more than the number printed on the original citation. This is also why work zones deserve your full attention. Drivers often watch the vehicle in front of them and miss a temporary speed sign. Others continue at the old highway speed because no workers are visible. But work zone rules can remain active based on the signs and enforcement system, not on whether you personally see a worker standing nearby. When lanes narrow, reduce speed early. Increase following distance. Avoid driving beside large trucks for long periods. Do not make a last-second lane change after passing the arrow board. And remember that a temporary sign has the same power to change your legal responsibility as a permanent one. Now let us talk about the phrase instant fine, because this is where the headline contains a piece of truth. In Delaware, officials announced additional red light camera locations in March 2026, including a location connected to an I-95 northbound off-ramp. Under that program, a camera violation carries a civil fine of $137.50. The notice is sent to the registered owner. It does not add license points or directly affect insurance under that program, but it is still a real bill created without an officer stopping the driver. That is what automated enforcement changes. You may never see a police car. You may not realize a camera captured the vehicle. The first sign of trouble can be a notice arriving later. To protect yourself, make complete stops before the marked line, especially when turning right on red. Check that right turns are permitted. Look for pedestrians and cyclists before moving. Do not follow another vehicle through an intersection simply because its driver decided to go. The camera does not know that you felt pressured by traffic behind you. And do not confuse "the car in front went through" with "I am allowed to go through." Each driver has a separate obligation to stop and proceed legally. Farther south, Florida has also increased the stakes for the most extreme speeding behavior. Since July 1st, 2025, driving 50 miles per hour or more above the limit, or driving at 100 miles per hour or more in a way that threatens people, property, or other vehicles can qualify as dangerous excessive speeding. A second or later conviction within 5 years can lead to a driving privilege revocation lasting at least 180 days and up to 1 year. Most seniors are not driving at those speeds. But the broader warning still matters. Speed enforcement is becoming more serious, and keeping up with traffic is not a legal defense for ignoring the posted limit. Here is another danger many drivers never consider. When stories about instant fines spread online, scammers take advantage of the fear. Fake messages may claim that you have an unpaid toll, an unresolved traffic ticket, an immediate license suspension, or a final deadline to pay. They often include a link and demand quick action. Do not enter payment information from a random text message. Do not let a threat about your license rush you into clicking. Instead, independently visit the official website of the state agency, toll authority, or court named in the notice. Use a trusted address that you type yourself, not the link inside the message. If the notice is real, you should be able to verify it through an official channel. If you cannot verify it, call the agency using a number from its official website. State motor vehicle agencies have already published warnings and examples involving fake unpaid traffic citations and similar payment messages. So are millions of seniors over 67 suddenly banned, automatically fined, or forced off I-95? No. Age 67 does not trigger one universal I-95 penalty. States control most driver licensing and traffic enforcement rules, and those rules vary. Some states do apply special renewal, vision, or in-person requirements at certain ages, but that is different from a nationwide highway ban. Federal safety guidance also states that decisions about a person's ability to drive should not be based on age alone. The real risk is not your birthday. The real risk is driving across multiple states while assuming the rules are identical everywhere. Before your next trip, take 5 minutes and do these things. Check your license expiration date and your own state's renewal requirements. Clean the windshield and mirrors. Make sure your glasses prescription is current. Program the GPS before moving. Activate Do Not Disturb while driving. Keep the phone mounted and out of your hand. Slow down as soon as you see a work zone sign.
Leave enough space to read signs without making sudden decisions. Make a complete stop at camera-controlled intersections. And if a fine or toll message appears, verify it through an official government source before paying. These steps are not about giving up independence. They are about protecting it. A license can represent medical appointments, grocery trips, family visits, church, work, and the freedom to live without depending on someone else for every journey. That freedom is worth defending with accurate information and safer habits. Share this warning with a parent, grandparent, neighbor, or friend who drives across state lines. One small change, putting the phone down at a red light, slowing earlier in a work zone, or verifying a suspicious ticket, could prevent a fine, protect a driving record, and possibly save a life. The new reality is not that seniors have been singled out. It is that enforcement is becoming faster, more automated, and less forgiving of habits drivers once considered harmless. Know the state, read the signs, keep both hands free, and never let a frightening message make you pay before you verify.